Salutare tuturor și bine ați revenit la un nou episod din seria The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, versiunea Next Gen DLC-ul Blood and Wine. Suntem la Castel Ravelo, podgoria care producea vinul Unravel, și vom merge la Fort Astre să întindem o ambuscadă celor care au cumpărat Unravel de la Fabrizio, cel care se ocupa de producerea vinului pentru familia ducesei.
Fine. When the handoff begins, watch for my signal. Relax. Now we wait.
A venit o echipă de mercenari, cred că o să trească să ne batem cu ei, la cum arată situația.
Our favorite vintner. It's not him.
You can do whatever you please.
You'll never learn.
No! Tear your legs from your bum. Spells! Magic! We've got to go at him together! Together! Courage, men! We'll teach you discipline! You will harm for that.
Is it just me, or did we agree you'd wait for my signal?
That was the plan, but...
Great shot. Good thing you reacted. Can't say how that would have ended otherwise.
At your service. It was a good fight. We managed to capture one of the scoundrels.
Let's ask him a few questions. Come on.
Witcher, a moment. I was wrong about you.
Hai să fim puțin empatici.
Well, had no reason to trust me, and I didn't do much to change that.
True, you are not the most endearing of men. At any rate, I see the effort you put forth. And I appreciate it. Let us go to her grace. She awaits nearby.
Wait, she here?
I hope you did not think I would leave this to you alone, especially when every hour could prove essential. This prisoner of yours, bring him to me. We must ask him some questions. Captain, do the honors.
Who sent you?
His name is Dog. They say he plowed your mother.
Once again, who sent you?
Your nun's lover. They call him...
Wait. If he doesn't wish to speak, he needn't. I can think of several other ways he can be helpful. I'm certain the Witcher will need bait to lure the beast of Beauclair.
What?
can. Fresh out.
In that case, he's all yours.
Captain, have your men find me a strong rope. Kind that won't snap when we hang this fellow from a tree.
Rope?
Live bait. Great for monsters, provided they catch the scent of its blood. But I'll see to that.
What? No. Crikey, no! Don't let him!
Stop screaming. Save your strength. Got a long night ahead of you.
No! Don't let him! I'll talk!
Barrels. Where were you gonna take them?
I don't know.
Captain, need that rope after all.
I truly don't know. Hornet's the leader, only he ever knew where to go. But he lies over there, dead. That one. The first barrel went to a warehouse at the port. But where this one was bound, I don't know. I speak true. You must believe me.
Who hired you?
He'll kill me.
Ought to be worried about me right now. Who is he?
Go on, man. Spit it out.
The Cintrian.
Deci tot acest Cintrian îi angajase. Nu știm prea multe detalii despre el, dar
Mustered the men for this caper. That's what they said, that we were working for the Cintrian. I don't know anything else. I swear it.
Take him away. Throw him in the dungeon. He shall await trial there. Captain, we ride to town. Gather your men and seek out the Cintrian. Someone else must have seen him, must know of him.
Yes, Your Grace. I'll report to the palace as soon as I learn anything.
I shan't return to the palace. Our mission has not yet ended. The Witcher and I will await you at the guard post near the port.
Let's go to town.
It's late.
Relax, he'll come.
There's something I'd like to know. How can you be so damned calm?
Side effect of my mutations. We Witchers rarely get the jitters.
What if something has happened to him?
Captain seems like a man who can take care of himself.
Perhaps he can, but this Cintrian appears to be no common bandit. He managed to steal ducal wine from under my guardsman's noses. We only learned of it through a fortunate coincidence. And it was he who specified the victims for the vampire. One must be exceptionally confident to blackmail such a monster.
Still don't know this Cintrian's behind the kidnapping and blackmail. Might have just handled the theft of the wine.
Even if it's so, he then sold the wine to the blackmailers. As I see it, that makes him an accomplice.
Need to find the Cintrian, whether or not he's responsible for the murders. Even if none of it's his doing, he could still know our blackmailer's identity. Besides, it's one thing to know who ordered the killings. Other thing entirely, and just as important, is why they... Someone's coming.
Captain, why so long? We expected you hours ago.
This Cintrian does not work alone. We are fighting an organization, not one man. Bandits attacked us, not a small force either. One of my boys has a broken arm, another a shattered knee, lamed for life. And the word on the street is there's a hefty bounty on your head, Geralt.
cineva a pus o recompensă și pe capul nostru.
Don't care. Down to business. You learn anything?
I will start at the beginning. The port warehouse where the wine was delivered. We identified it, then learned who had hired it out. This proved to be a beggar, a stand-in. We found him. He admitted all. A man had paid him to sign the lease, a man he met while begging outside the pheasantry. There, fate lent us a hand. A waitress recalled spilling wine on a nobleman who spoke with a Cintrian accent.
What did he look like?
Her description was not helpful. Handsome, well-dressed, with a beard. No distinguishing marks. This could be anyone. But she remembered his female companion very well, as she recognized her. On the Cintrian's arm was Cecilia Bellant.
The singer? I've heard of her. She's said to be gifted. Fairy.
The same. We went to her home immediately. Cecilia was not there, but we questioned her servants. A chambermaid claimed Cecilia is to meet a Cintrian gentleman tonight. She'd invited him to a reception mounted by the Mandragora.
The Mandragora? What's that?
A club, an affiliation of local artists. Painters, sculptors, troubadours and dancers.
Never heard of it.
They exude mystique, consciously, I think. Behaving like an exclusive cabal. Artistic elites. Every now and again they mount soirees. Only wealthy patrons are invited. All arrive in elaborate masks, then drink and flirt.
Gotta nab the Cintrian. Seems we have to go to that get-together.
You read my mind, Witcher. I shall gather my men, surround the establishment. Not a mouse will squeeze through.
Out of the question. If the Cintrian truly does have men about the city, he will find out and escape once again.
Duchess is right. Need to be careful. Best go there, blend in with the crowd.
Vom merge la această întâlnire și vom încerca să-l prindem pe acest Cintrian. Probabil vom intra sub acoperire.
Geralt and I. In that sort of company, the Witcher could use my help.
Where's the event gonna be held?
The Mandragora always assembles at the same place, a residence in Oatville. It's a very distinguished district. Geralt, you must don appropriate attire. Then meet me in Oatville, in Mountebank Alley.
Audacious rat, the Cintrian. But we'll get him.
Bun, va trebui să mergem în primul rând să ne luăm o ținută potrivită pentru acest eveniment. Probabil vor să încaseze recompensa pusă pe capul nostru.
Like locals. Damien's right. I'm a hunted man.
Ok, deci chiar e un contract pe numele nostru.
I wish you health.
Nice tune.
Joints are aching.
Welcome back to our northern dandy.
All jests aside, let me see what you got in your wardrobe.
I'm more than willing, sir.
Thanks. Think that's all I need for now.
Ever your servant, sir.
Keep calm. Start no brawls. Reginald Aubrey has returned, not to be missed. Buy your tickets.
Hai să ne întâlnim cu Ana Hanarieta, să mergem la acest eveniment.
Late. Why does that not surprise me?
Well, well. I did not expect you to have such a sense of style. Not all bad. Nothing like a budding artist, of course, but... Just one other detail. Here, put it on.
A mask?
All who attend the Mandragora soiree wear them. If you have one on, no one asks who you are.
Let's go. Soiree's started.
Mm-hmm. Wise of you to hide your weapons. They'd not have let us in otherwise, that's certain. How do we find the Cintrian? Have you a plan?
Key is not to spook him. Need to ask after his partner, Cecilia, first. Less likely to raise suspicions. Soon as we find her, we find him. Especially since he might be expecting us.
What do you mean?
Ran into some of his thugs in town. Knew who I was. Had it in for me.
Right. Right you are. We must proceed with caution. Come, it's our turn.
Madame, Monsieur, an extraordinary pleasure to welcome you to the Mandragora's soiree. Tonight, I particularly recommend you direct your attention to the performances prepared by artists of our community.
Tell us about these performances.
This evening, the Mandragora has the honor to present 3 superb displays of artistry. The first was a concert by Cecilia Belont, a singer whose voice, were it stone, would surely be a diamond. Sadly, Mademoiselle Cecilia has sung.
Shame. We would have loved to hear her.
Luckily, you are in time to see the great Calesti, a master of visual illusions, come to us from far off Afir.
Visual illusions. Interesting. And the third artist?
The third and fourth, for they are a duo, are the Tuven brothers, presenting their newest pantomime.
We were really hoping to meet Cecilia Belont.
You are admirers, I surmise. I'm certain you will have ample opportunity to converse with her.
It cannot be easy to identify anyone in this crowd. Perhaps you could help us find her.
I don't know where she is now, but I can
Ia
give
să
you a
vedem.
clue.
Let's hear it.
Seek the Kaveri Orchid.
Meaning?
Deci trebuie să ne uităm după o floare din covir, floare pe care Cecilia o poartă în păr.
Well. Dandelion's always complaining about artists being poor as temple mice.
The residence belongs to none of them. They are guests here. Oriana, she owns this. Woman in the black dress. There, on the balcony.
Got her. Doesn't wear a mask?
It would be pointless. All would know her anyway.
Koviri Orchid. Let's look for it. If we find Cecilia, we'll find the Cintrian.
Go on, Geralt, be bold. Show us the artist in you. The paintballs, cast them at the canvas.
Good folk, yet should you tire of these hues, drop them in the pail and grab a different...
Paradise! Oh, the damn thing!
Quite the noble color. Splendid! The
Sure to
sky
be in one of
over
the
Toussaint
alcoves.
before a storm.
Or a deeply internalized fear of intimacy.
Yellow? Why ever yellow?
It's obvious. It represents transgression in its purest form.
Should you tire of these hues, drop them in the pail and grab a different array. That green, lush and verdant as a field of vines.
To vines and to wine!
Gauze, scarlet, crimson oxblood.
Icy lips, full sensual parted lips.
The composition takes shape.
Yes, it's sure to be a masterpiece.
Please do not disturb.
Should you tire of these hues, drop them in the pail and grab a different array.
Come, greetings, Witcher.
Free a stone subtle soul.
I got it! It's the Sorrento!
It's not a landscape, you pleb. It's a manifestation of the man's soul.
Voila! First, now, allow me a moment to ponder. My appraisal? The painting depicts spiritual dualism. The continual battle between good and evil. And
Absinthe. The preferred hooch of artists.
Careful, it packs a pretty powerful punch.
I've built up a pretty powerful resistance.
Exception true. My, would I ever love to meet him. It's a shame he didn't come alone.
need I remind you that neither did you.
Ok, hai să ne uităm după Cecilia.
Blah, blah, blah. Avant-garde, schmavant-garde. Pretentious. I was prepared for all sorts of criticism.
Paints like the great one.
Look, lanterns. They say releasing them brings good luck.
Aren't they even? Because the right cuff seems somewhat...
Fine. Let's give it a try.
Never suspected you believed in such things.
Blah, pretentious. I was prepared for all sorts of criticism, but blah, blah, blah. Avant-garde, schmavant-garde. Pretentious. I was prepared for all sorts.
Famous, I tell you. Such talent.
Do not disturb. Shoo, shoo.
It's the right flower.
Of course it is. A Koviri orchid lends just the right contrast to her complexion.
Need to talk to your model. It'll only take a minute.
To me?
Lie still. You may speak, But for love's sake, do not move.
Ia să vedem dacă aceasta este
We came
Cecilia.
here to meet you, specifically.
To meet me? But why?
Cintrian noble you came here with. Wanted to ask you about him.
Cintrian noble. Ah, you must think I'm Cecilia.
Orchid confused me.
I told you not to move!
As she concluded her performance, Cecilia tossed the flower into the crowd. I caught it, but I did see the nobleman.
Really like to talk to him. What did he look like?
Like many here, tall, dark, masked.
Know where he might be now?
He gave Cecilia a small gift, a heart-shaped box. Then they strolled off together towards the refreshment tables.
Excuse me, madame, monsieur, I cannot work like this. You must leave now.
Deception true. Would I ever love to meet him? It's a shame.
This is definitely done.
Need I remind
go.
you that
You're
neither did
bored
you.
as you've made no effort.
Outrage.
Look at the mage. I believe he's casting spells.
Yeah, we'll see.
As for that stamp, but are you sure?
The shattered deliberations on alleged subsistence. It is irrelevant to the work's ultimate meaning.
Hit of fist tech. Artist's way of numbing their existential pain.
And they're not even wished. Ah, how beautiful. The dolphins.
Love letter
That
penned on
is
a
no
napkin.
ordinary illusion.
Look.
The man is a true artist.
The great block.
Impressive empty heart-shaped box. Cecilia must have left it behind.
It looks like it held a flask of perfume. A gift from the Cintra.
Someone left their loot behind. Looks a little like dandelions.
This was scratched. Someone beat him with it once.
Ok, să vedem, am luat urma unui miros. Hai să-l urmăm să vedem unde ne va conduce.
Ignoramus.
But what if he doesn't come?
He'll definitely come. Don't worry.
How can you be so sure?
Sorry, only artists in the Mandragora allowed.
Come, we must consider what to do.
I'd recognize that voice anywhere.
You must be mistaking me for someone else.
I served 15 years in the palace. Your Grace, I'd not mistake you for anyone.
Shh! Not so loud. We are here incognito, on state business.
Yes, Your Grace. How may I serve?
Looking for Cecilia Bellant. Seen her?
She's in her dressing room, where she went with a nobleman. They clearly were drawn to each other.
What did the man look like?
Tall, broad-shouldered, a black beard peeping out from under his mask, and he spoke with a foreign accent, a drawl of sorts.
That must be him. We must get to the dressing room, quickly.
Yes, Your Grace. I'll take you.
No, stay here. Anyone tries to flee, you stop them.
Understood.
Quickly, upstairs.
Aceasta pare a fi cabina Ceciliei.
That must be Cecilia.
Cineva a ajuns la ea înaintea noastră.
No pulse. We're too late.
He slit her throat. The brute.
Didn't go out the door. Guard would have noticed. Might still be somewhere here.
You must find him before he harms another. I shall alert Oriana at once. She should bring her soirée to a close.
Shouldn't split up.
Geralt, I will be fine. Go after that rogue. I shall fetch help.
Hai să investigăm.
Down the door. Made a platform. It's his. Must be pretty strong, too. Killed her, then went out on the balcony. Must have climbed this ladder. Could still be here. Need to stay alert. Smashed mirror. Someone crashed into it hard, then sank to the floor. Blood stains. Links of a snapped chain. Jewel must have been on it. Links of a snapped chain. Jewel must have been on it. Precious stone. Bloody fingerprint on it. Thief came for this, must have. Tiny chain links next to it. From a snapped necklace? Seems there was a struggle. Jewelry box. Lock's busted. Picked open, probably. Looks valuable, but it's not what he came for. Empty inkwell. Knocked over, turned toward the room. Canvas is cut. Somebody took a knife to the painting, looks like. Hunting knife. Richly ornamented. Used during the fight, probably. Sconce is bent. Smeared with blood. Someone try to grab it. Blood on the window frame. Someone climb out? Fall out? Jewel was in the box, it seems. Centurion tried to steal it, but someone got in his way. They fought, struggled, that's clear. Ended with one of them flying out the window. Fall had to have killed them. Jewel's still here, though, so our Centurion must have been the flyer.
So, this is the tracker. A witcher, yes?
Indeed, this is him. We found the body together. Then he set off in pursuit of the killer.
And ended up here, but I've only found evidence of a fight. Seems the Centurions killed his last. Finally failed this time. Shame it happened too late for Cecilia.
Poor girl. Always told her she chose her males badly. But I would never have suspected she could arrive with a murderer. I'll alert the staff. Have them see to her body at once. Meanwhile, we should sit. I will tell you everything, in full detail.
Se pare că iar ne-a scăpat acest Cintrian. Hai să vedem ce ne poate spune și Oriana despre el.
Attempting to burgle, rifling through my possessions.
What did you do? Summon the guards?
There was no time. I feared he'd escape, refused to give him the chance. He stood with his back to me, so I attacked. He struck his head on a picture frame as we struggled. He was bleeding, dazed, and then he drew a knife. Everything happened very quickly then. I knocked the weapon out of his hand and pushed him hard. He
fell out of the window.
Just so.
None too wise picking a fight with an armed robber.
Why? Because I'm a woman, in a frock rather than plate. I can take care of myself, I assure you. A hairpin might look like mere ornament, but plunged into an eye, it can be as effective as a blade.
Claim the man was trying to rob you when you walked into the room?
Yes. He stood over my dressing table, pouring through my jewelry.
Mm-hmm. After this is my guess. Picked it up while searching.
Why, that's the heart of Toussaint. Oriana, how did you ever come to have it?
I bought it many years ago from a young woman.
Jewel seems important. Why?
The heart is an heirloom. It belonged to my family for years. Then it disappeared. I didn't think we would ever recover it.
Seems someone is very determined to find it. The thief left his tool bag behind. Found this drawing inside it. Look.
The Heart of Toussaint. Representation's pretty faithful. Cintrian must have been on a job. Got very clear instructions what to look for.
So it is not him we seek, but his employer. Is this the only evidence we found?
Also happened on the weapon he attacked Oriana with. Hunting knife. Used to skin game. Got an emblem on its hilt.
This crest is used by the lords of Duntine. The present master of the castle is a passionate hunter. Our next lead, perhaps.
Duntine. Remember the place. Abandoned ruin just a few years ago.
More recently, the family's last heir, Roderick, returned to his ancestral seat and restored the castle.
Know any more about this Roderick?
His grandfather was an advisor to Queen Ademarta. The family received those lands as a grant for his service. Roderick is quite the recluse. He avoids society, preferring the company of a small team of knights, though the latter term is imprecise, as they seem more akin to vandals with crests on their shields.
Oriana, everything we discussed here, hope you'll keep it to yourself. Counting on it, in fact. Word gets out he, failed in his attempt to steal the jewel. His employer could run. We need to proceed cautiously.
Discretion is in the interest of us all. I'll not ask what this is about, just as I expect not to be troubled about it again. By anyone.
Forgive me, Madam Oriana, but might I have a word?
You must excuse me a moment.
Oriana, any thoughts?
Few make me feel awkward, but in her presence, I sense anxiety, discomfort.
The drawing. It's on the same type of paper the victims' names were written on. Drawn with the same ink, too. Seems the work of our blackmailers.
Who were not only behind the beast's murders, but also stole the unravel and sought to steal the heart of Toussaint.
Look, the wine, the jewel, both tied to you intrinsically. Coincidence? Not something I'm willing to believe. Worried about one thing. That somewhere at the end of this scheme, plan might call for an attempt on your life.
It could be something else altogether. My sister, Siana, might be among the schemers.
Ana Hanarieta pare să aibă ceva idee cine ar putea fi în spatele complotului. Mai avea o soră, se pare, care ar putea fi.
I've not seen her since.
Think your sister might be involved? Why?
You see, I recall her always being rather possessive, throwing jealous fits if I had something she didn't.
Here that's normal for sisters. Rivalry.
True. I suppose I gave as good as I got. There are times I miss that very much. The wine, its theft, was the first clue. That's very much like her. She always did enjoy stealing my toys, but I grew almost certain when I saw the heart of Toussaint. Siana received it from father as a gift. At a time when my parents thought of her as but an ill-behaved little girl, someone wanted some of my wine. The same someone ordered our family jewels stolen, or recovered. It's my sister. It must be.
A fallen princess satisfying whims, going after lost luxuries? Could be right.
Hai să vedem ce s-a întâmplat cu ea de a fost alungată de la castel.
What did your sister do to get banished?
Siana was cursed.
Parents run afoul of some mage?
No. She was Born at an inopportune moment. They said she was touched by the curse of the Black Sun. Geralt, is it true? Can an individual be evil
Deci,
because they were
nimic
born during
serios,
the
doar
wrong
că nu s-a
lunar
născut în
phase?
perioada
Could be the
potrivită.
case. Could also be because they were treated like lepers from birth. Isolated, prodded, ostracized. Couldn't have had it easy, Sienna.
She was angry at the whole world. She felt inferior, felt pain, though she masked this with confidence, arrogance even. She could also be cruel at times. I recall one such situation. She persuaded Cedric the Coolbird that she could see the future in her dreams. We were children, and Cedric's brother was smitten with me. It was an innocent childhood crush. Sienna knew of it. She told Cedric of a dream she had had, that he would die at the hands of his own brother. Cedric stole his father's sword and killed his brother. She destroyed 2 lives with a prank. Cedric mourns to this day. In the end, they forced her to leave the palace. A decade passed. More. I've missed her terribly since. Your mission has gained new import. You must go to Duntine, and if Sienna is there, you must find her. No matter what she did, she is not to be harmed in any way, shape, or form. You must make sure of that.
I'll find her if she's there.
I hope you do. I very much wish to talk to her. Sister to sister.
Your Grace, Geralt, I'd like to introduce...
Regis! What a surprise! I had no idea you were in Beauclair. And this is...
My very dear friend, Detlaf van der Eretain, an arrival from Nazaire.
We are lending our combined resources to the Witcher's hunt.
Ah, yes. Splendid. But why are you here at Oriana's?
They came to pay me a surprise visit, so I invited Regis in for a glass of wine.
Ok, deci Oriana îl cunoaște pe Regis.
Ages, literally. Witcher, I hear you know Regis too. Even that you are friends.
Few I can rely on like I can on Regis. Kinda hoping he thinks the same of me.
Curious. It seems opposites really do attract.
Don't be fooled, dear. Geralt has many merits. He merely hides them from the world very diligently.
You said you're both aiding him with his contract. It involves the Beast of Beauclair, I suspect. Master Witcher, maybe you could satisfy my curiosity. What's it like going toe-to-toe with a monster, knowing you've only 2 options, to kill or be killed?
Despite what you might have heard, I don't lunge at every monster I see sword in hand. Talking gets the job done for some.
I wonder what a monster might have to say to you.
It might want to
Se pare că
apologize.
Detlaf vrea să-și ceară scuze.
Well, what might the monster wish to apologize to a witcher?
For killing. Though at times there is no choice, when loved ones are at risk and require protection.
Same as humans. Put them in that situation, they'll kill too.
You understand this. It must be why you and Regis are friends. If I understand you correctly, you would rather help a monster than kill it.
If possible, yeah. Or at least try.
Enough about the witcher trade for now. Regis mentioned you come from Nazaire. I spent time there as a child.
Fond memories?
It was wonderful. I was positively entranced by the land's fashions. Deep-cut dresses I found most fascinating.
I believe we're running short on wine. I should go to the cellar, bring another bottle.
Let me go. Wanna help, Regis? Know your wine a lot better than I know mine.
We shall return forthwith. An exceptional conversation, don't you think? Vampires, a witcher, and the Duchess of Toussaint? My.
Highly exceptional, Regis. Wanted to talk to you in private. You crazy bringing Detlaf here?
Geralt, allow me to explain.
No, let me explain. He's dangerous, and you were gonna watch him.
But that is precisely what I'm doing. Detlef believes you'll succeed in your task, and he'll not need to kill anymore. That is, not until he gets his hands on the men who kidnapped his Renna.
Hai să vedem cine e această Oriana.
Oriana.
Cum de o
She
cunoaște
really your
Regis.
friend? Can she be trusted?
I met her years ago, before I met you, and before she settled in Beauclair. We'd not seen one another in... I can't begin to tell you in how long. But I shall tell you all about her some other day.
Now listen close. Managed to learn where the blackmailers are. They're based at Duntine Castle.
That's splendid news. If they are there, Renna must be there as well.
Duchess expects we'll find her long-lost sister there, too. Thing is, she might be involved. Could be behind the blackmailing.
Do you mean to say your task now is to extract 2 women from the castle?
Mean to say we can't breathe a word of this to Detlef, who wants revenge above all else.
Geralt, you must trust me. I've got a way with...
No, Regis. Can't risk it. Gotta keep Detlef here while I go to Duntine.
Alone?
Alone. That way I can make sure neither woman will come to any harm.
I hope you know what you're doing. Fine. I shall see to Detlef. Good luck, my friend.
Splendidly, Detlef. Ah, I'm grateful you brought back those memories. You're back. It took you long enough.
Contrary to what common folk believe, choosing a wine is not nearly as easy as it might seem. Especially a wine to be served to 2 exquisite ladies.
Regis, gallant as ever. I regret all the more that I shan't finish this second bottle with you. Duty calls.
Your Grace, always a pleasure.
I thank you for your help. It's been invaluable. Geralt, will you see me out? You have exceptional friends. This Detlef, an intriguing man to say the least.
Didn't expect the evening to end like this.
Neither did I. But I have not drawn you out for a romantic stroll. I wish to make certain you know what you are to do.
Mm-hmm. Gotta go to Duntine.
I've decided my guardsmen will support you. You will meet them at Count de la Croix' mill. It stands along the Saône-Retour River, near the Cockatrice Inn. Captain de la Tour and his men will await you there at midnight. You shall storm the castle together.
Ok, deci următorul pas este să mergem la acest castel împreună cu garda ducesei. Să vedem dacă putem găsi pe sora ei și pe iubita lui Detlef. Ok, cam atât cu acest episod. Mulțumesc tuturor celor cărora au rămas până la final. Dacă v-a plăcut, nu uitați să lăsați un like, un subscribe. Eu am fost Mr. M și ne auzim data viitoare.